you guys, I'm Ann Dorman with People of Fairhope, and this is Lynn Oldshue and Shay, and we are in this beautiful setting.
Yeah, so our farm, I grew up on a farm and always wanted one, always wanted a horse, and Santa Claus never brought me a horse, so finally hitting 40s and 50s and start doing things you always want to do.
And it's so peaceful out here.
It's a great place to write and to escape and to play with Shay. Shay's my therapist.
So you have a variety of projects, but one reason we're meeting today is your book, Our Southern Souls, based off your website and the Facebook page that people can check out, has just gone to print.
Pre-sales are going on right now, and then he'll hit bookstores and become real life and go out into the world. Started walking up to the first person at Fairhope Pier 6 years ago. I think it was December 10th or 16th. And I thought, there's no way this is going to work. I was prepared for a complete rejection, and 1,800 stories and interviews later. Like, it's just, I mean, my whole life has changed. I'm a much better person because of them.
Well, and so 6 years, 1,800 stories, and now you've selected how many for the book?
177 for the book. People start asking about the book. I thought, I don't want to do a book. That just seems like too much work. And then Jake and I interviewed World War II veterans, and then Catherine Singer Phillips. She was just amazing, and so she was one of my favorite interviews. And she said, "You're the last person I'll ever tell this story to." And like, her whole life is an amazing story. Like, Ken Burns has done her story, and so that hit me. And like, she died 2 weeks after she told me that.
Wow.
And so it started hitting me, like, how many people, this is the last time, there's some of them, this is the last time they told their story, like the World War II veterans, some civil rights activists, and like, how do we keep passing it down?
And really it comes back to, you slowed down and asked. Like, you asked for their story.
Right. And it's the people all around us. I mean, Fairhope Pier it's one of the most amazing spots, because like, it's people from around the world. I've interviewed people from Cuba and Sudan and Puerto Rico and Egypt. And, you know, I didn't go to like this special person store and find these people on the shelf. I mean, it really is literally the people all around us. The people on the sidewalk, the people who are giving you your food at Chick-fil-A, the people who are, you know, helping you at the grocery store or in line with you at the grocery store. I mean, everybody really does have a story.
You do work on APR, you do work for Lanyap, and they're not easy topics. I mean, I've read your articles on sex trafficking. I've read your articles on affordable housing. There's so many injustices.
The domestic violence and sex trafficking ones, I learned so much from going through people's hard times with them. And like, it's darkness and they go through hell, but there's also hope. And how these women survive and come through the other side is complete inspiration. And so often, how many people go through something and they turn around and try to help somebody else? That's it. I mean, that's the Bible. That's everything. You know, we make mistakes, we fall down, we get up, and we help somebody else up.
So you have won awards both in journalism and in radio.
Right.
Is this something that you always wanted to do or knew you would do?
So I come from a newspaper family, and as a kid I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to go into it because like, I was scared, because like, my family won the Pulitzer before they sold the papers, and so like, I didn't want to go into that. It's like, what if I suck? And so you don't want to let the family down, and so I just had zero self-confidence in myself or trying to write or do any of this until I hit my 40s. And then started the Southern Rambler magazine. I mean, it doesn't go away. Like, I always had that call to write and interview, and I always loved people. It's a hard, scary thing, and you never feel like you're good at it. It's just practice, 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 practice. And that's the great thing about Souls. For 5 years, I think it was everyday interviewing and everyday writing. And I don't do it nearly as much now because of Lanyap and APR, but like, that's such a great discipline of walking up to people and just like being prepared for rejection, and then the whole everyday writing. Like, looking back, like, I don't know how I did it every day.
It sounds a bit exhausting.
Yeah.
But also rewarding. Like, you
sure.
asked, and sure enough, so many people said yes, and they wanted their story told.
We all want to know our story matters. We want to know our life matters. You know, how many people don't listen to them. And sometimes it's easier just talking to a stranger and opening up to a stranger than the people you love. The one thing I know for sure is we're all saints and sinners. And for a long time I thought, hey, I'm just the only sinner, you know, or I'm the only one doing this. But like, no, it's all of us. So I'm just hide it better. And once we understand about each other, we're all just trying to struggle and get through, then it makes it a lot easier to like see each other and who we are. How wrong I used to be. Like, how many times did I see strangers and write them off and like categorize them like, they're not worth my time, there's nothing special about them, or I'm better than they are, or I'm not as good as they are. I mean, like, our mind judges so quick, puts them in a file and tosses them to the side. Like, how many people have I missed in my life?
Your you're also giving back to the community.
So all the proceeds from the book are going to the Pledge Project, which we started with United Way in 2020. And the goal was to get 2,020 kids off a waiting list, like for Big Brothers Big Sisters and Boys and Girls Club and Dumas Wesley, and get them off these waiting lists into the programs they needed. So it's kind of going upstream from where the vulnerability was, and how do we help them and give them a better shot, and so they don't end up here.
What are your thoughts for what is ahead?
I have no idea what happens after when people start reading it. I start thinking about it, I get emotional of like, what if it touches somebody's life? So all of these people have changed my life. So I think probably if they change other people's the way they have mine, then it's kind of a magical thing.
Do you ever get to find out how they're doing later?
Sometimes I get to find out. One of them, she was told the story of her abusive husband, her abusive marriage. She was out of it, but still kind of caught in the shame and the guilt and everything. And so we talked about it. And then she went on and got her counseling degree after that, because she kind of took power and control of her life. And like now she's helping other people. It's amazing. I mean,
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just people's lives can change. We can get better. We're not stuck in this terrible chapter.
Right. But there's more.
There's better chapters coming. It's something so freeing about telling your story. Sometimes I'm the first person they tell their story to, especially painful past stories. I believe in the power of storytelling now, because I've watched them when I meet them until the end of it. And like you can tell a burden's been lifted. Like they're just releasing something so painful and like kind of taking power over it.
I heard you say sometimes it's the last time someone shared a story, and sometimes it's the first.
Yeah. And what an amazing, I mean, I'm so grateful. I can't even begin to talk about how grateful it is to have somebody share the story. I mean, it's the best gift they can give you, and have them trust me with it.
Yeah.
They have no idea how much they've changed me.
It'll be here locally. Where will we find it?
Page and Palette in Milton Moore and Fairhope. And then at Haunted Bookshop and Ashland Place in Mobile. And then you can get them online.
So check out Our Southern Souls on Facebook. Google Lynn Oldshue. You'll see her awards and her other things that you can read, and the book. A few places here locally and online.
Right.
Pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Glad to have you out here. Time for Redneck Sleigh Ride.
Can we just finish with laughing?